Okay, so we have the Digitone here hooked up with the Digitact. The Digitact's output is going into the Digitone input. So with that setup, I can combine these machines very easily and just use the stereo output from there. The Digitone is an 8-voice digital synthesizer, and you can get a lot of sounds from it. Therefore, we made a large preset patches, a lot of presets for this basically, and I'd like to go through some of them. And you can of course get like FM type of bellish sounds. Another thing that I really like is, let me try to find this patch here, I think it's this one, is that you can see there's like another sound coming afterwards, and this is achieved by the envelopes, where we can assign delay to the FM envelopes. So it's, without the envelope delay, it is like this. But if I assign some values to this, it comes later on. This is a great way to come up with interesting sounds like this. Let's have a look at other patches. Yeah, you can. Of course, get those flute sounds too. But what's really cool is that the bass on this can be really heavy. So you can get a lot of sounds out of this. The synthesis method is 4 operators and 8 algorithms. And this FM synthesis is combined with subtractive methods. So you have a dual filter, which is one of them is multi-mode. You have different filter types here. And the other one is a bass width filter, which you can just shave off some of the frequencies. Then you have like an overdrive for per each of the 4 tracks. Then you have 2 LFOs on all of these. And you, of course, you have the Electron Sequencer. So here I've got like a basic patch. And on track number 1, I have this beat. I made there's a lot of drum sounds in the Digitone, and these can be assigned per step in the sequencer. And you can make beats such as this. And of course, you can do micro timing on the beats. So when you hold the step and pressing left and right, you can nudge the steps. So you can easily make out of, beats that are not so rigid, which is very important in most type of music actually, apart from techno. And so let's unmute the bass track, which is on the second one. So let's start tweaking the bass sound of it. So I drive some overdrive to it. Let's tweak some. I'm going to unmute the rest of the tracks so we can hear them all at the same time. And while that is playing, I'm going to hold this button and tweak the whole sound, the whole 4 synth tracks. This is a great way to perform on the material you've made on the machine. So let's check it out. so you can reload pretty quickly. And before I didn't show the Digitact in then, so if I raise the Digitact's volume a bit, and if I press play, they'll play at the same time. And I also have a master overdrive at the end of the signal chain on the Digitone. With this overdrive, I can affect the incoming audio, and at this master page, I can also add sound effects to incoming audio. I need to turn the inputs on. Here we go. Here we go. So now if I can, or like maybe some chorus. So let's hear them together then.
Yo, this is B-Boy Tech from B-Boy Tech Report and Beat People Podcast. I'm here with my man Dataline, and he's showing us the brand new Digitone and how it marries well with the Digitact. So, Chink, tell us a little bit about the synth engine for the Digitone.
Yeah. So with the Digitone, it's at its core it is an FM synthesizer, but we like to call it a digital synthesizer because only the core, the sound generation, is FM. And on top of that, we've added like the filter, an envelope generator, 2 LFOs, and this made it much more easy to come up with unique sounds because not everybody is familiar with FM synthesis, as you know, and I am not. I personally am not, and I never managed to use it properly up until now, actually, for me, actually. So we try to make the synth engine very easy, and for all the FM geeks out there, this is an 8 algorithm FM synthesizer with 4 operators, and it's an 8 voice synthesizer, and meaning that you have 4 synth tracks, so you can assign different voices, different amount of voices to the different tracks.
Okay. And so with the operators and the algorithms, so there's 8 algorithms, but you have 4 operators. And you were saying something a while ago about the X and Y axis.
Yeah.
What's that about, the X and Y axis? How's that work?
The X and Y is a great question. The X and Y output is a kind of a unique thing for this FM synth. Is each of the algorithms have got like an XY output, and you could, on the synth page, you have a balance of how much X or Y you want. So literally, you have 2 sounds all the time, and then you could mix and match. And if you assign an LFO to this parameter, you can use it like an envelope generator also. So the X and Y is like a great way to combine like different modulations of operators in the algorithm that you've chosen.
Nice. And do we, with the LFOs, there's 2 LFOs and they both have destinations, like certain, you know how many destinations there are for like?
Yeah, almost you can assign the LFOs to any destination.
Okay, dope.
Like you have pitch, you can assign it to the operators, the filter, any of the parameters that is playable actually.
Dope. You know what I always do? Like when I'm playing any synth, I'm always messing with the synth knob, but what's dope is having that LFO and being able to assign it to filter frequency, and then the other one maybe to filter resonance or something, or even tune and kind of play with it and let it kind of morph and do kind of stuff. So that's dope.
It's very good, and you know, on the LFO pages, we have a very unique parameter, which is the fading. Okay. So with the fade, you can actually you can see what it does. So the LFO depth will fade in now at this setting, or I could do it reverse.
Nice.
So it's kind of like an envelope almost.
Yeah.
It's a very unique way to do that. Yeah.
So another thing that I know is pretty unique to the Digitone. Let's talk about the ARP and the, what is this, the add notes?
That's a cute little button there, yeah. So here you can actually, for people like me who don't understand music notes, it's great because now I can turn the keyboard chord into major, minor, 7th, diminished, etc.
Nice.
We also have scales such as Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, you know, all these. And so you can select the scale, and I can select the chord.
Wow. Oh, that's mind-blowing.
Exactly.
So you instantly have all the chords right in there. Wow. Nice.
I mean, yeah, that's. But here it's like, it's only single note. But
Okay.
here I've got it. So if I change it to another scale, and they all sound nice because it's all made for
Right. You don't have to worry about hitting bum notes on that if you're not the greatest player, right? Right, like me. Sometimes I'm trying to play and I can't quite get that note, but this is perfect. You got all the chords right in there.
Yeah, exactly, and it's great like that. We also have an arpeggiator, which can be, you can make up its own sequencer within the arpeggiator. So you could say, okay, I want this here, I want that there, and then you could make it random like this.
Nice.
And before we were doing this video, we had an awesome patch going on with this. It was very interesting to. Let's see what will come up now if we. Oops, that doesn't sound like anything. Oh wow.
Wow.
So weird.
Just off of random selected notes, and it sounds that good.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
It's interesting, and I think it's a very unique sounding machine in these times.
Yeah.
So we're really proud and happy to introduce this now.
The fact that it's that unique, it uses a beloved type of synthesis, and it's in such a small package. Traditionally, these kinds of things have not been in such a small. They've been like huge machines. Now, the other thing about this is you have an input left and right. How's that work out? What's it get for you? Like, what's it running through? Is it effects and filter, or how's that work?
It's on the master page. You have the control for the inputs.
Okay.
So you can use the inputs as like a two mono. So you could maybe have a mono synth and another thing in the inputs there.
Okay.
So you can okay, I want that much, here that much. You can pan them.
Okay.
And if you want to use it as like a stereo input, I suggest you put them both at 100.
Okay.
Then you pan left and right.
Okay, yeah, so you get the full stereo feel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have the sound effects, the chorus, delay, and reverb, only for the inputs.
Wow.
Followed by a master overdrive at the end of the signal chain.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's only specific for the input, so it's not even messing with like the effects that may be being used on the actual instrument.
Not at all.
Incredible.
They have a different page.
Yeah.
The sound effects for the synth tracks are located here. So it's a different page of the machine.
Very cool.
Yeah. And it's available now.
Okay.
And,
What's it running for?
It's $750. It's around that price. Yes.
Very cool. Oh, the MIDI, one more thing.
Yeah.
The MIDI tracks.
Yeah.
So tell us about the MIDI tracks and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, it's you have 4 synth tracks as I mentioned, and on top of that you have 4 MIDI tracks. And with these MIDI tracks you can say, okay, I want to assign channel number 8 to this one. Then you can have program and bank messages. And you can have pitch band, aftertouch, mode wheel, breath control.
Wow.
And these can be all parameter locked per step.
Wow.
So you have a very extensive sequencer for your existing gear, which each step can send different MIDI CC messages.
Nice.
It's a very powerful tool. So imagine you have this, and you have an analog monosynth going into the inputs, and then you put in the digital effects on that.
That's a good marriage. I mean, like you get all that control, and plus on top of that, the effects, because these are stellar effects. I love that reverb and that delay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, hey man, Dataline, I always enjoy talking to you, man. I appreciate it, no doubt.